So during these shutdowns, it happens during a presidential or other campaign too. Both sides have war rooms and they monitor what the other side said. And they look for something the other side says that they can take advantage of, even if it's said extemporaneously and it's not, it doesn't mean anything. So, for instance, when Senator Schumer said the other day, what did he say? He said something like, we can take advantage. I forget. He said something, and the Republicans jumped on. And this is like what the party committees do. It's sort of the most childish thing of taking a gaffe or something out of context or even in context and blowing it up. So here's what the Republicans are making a big deal of. Congresswoman Clark of Massachusetts. Oh, Schumer said, thank you. Thank you for the text, my friend. What Schumer said was things are getting better every day for us, meaning he thought the polling and the flow of the debate was strengthening the Democrats' hand and trying to break the impasse in their favor over the shutdown. Catherine Clark, she's the House Democratic whip. She's from Massachusetts. Very bright lady. Most of you couldn't pick her out of a lineup. For whatever reason, they don't put her front and center all that often. But she did an interview with Fox News today, and she said something that Republicans now are treating like the ultimate error that's going to cause the shutdown to end in their favor. Here is Representative Clark, number 6, please.
Course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously, but it is one of the few leveraged times we have.
Okay, so what she's saying is when the effects of the shutdown start to affect real people, that the Republicans will be blamed for that because they're in charge, and that will be a leverage point. And yet now the White House has attacked her; she's attacked back. Beverly, if she were your client and she said something like that, is that a gaffe? Is that something she shouldn't have said, or is that just stating the truth, which is they think real people being hurt will be to their favor?
It's a big gaffe, and here's the reason why is you
Yeah.
never want to show that somebody else's suffering is a good thing. So for her to say that people are suffering, families are suffering, but that's one of the leverage points that we have, it then makes it seem that what families are going through isn't that big of a deal and that their pain is worth getting what Democrats want in this shutdown. So I think it's very smart for Republicans to use this. And after seeing this interview, because I had initially the same thoughts that you had, Mark, why aren't they putting her out there more? I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is
Yeah.
always the most stellar
Yeah. Yeah.
communicator, but after seeing this interview, I thought maybe this is why. Maybe she hasn't been trained enough. I understand what she was saying, but again, you cannot conflate what you need to do as being beneficial, even if other people suffer. And that
Okay.
was the big mistake.
All right, Stephen, hold just one second. So what she said was families will suffer, but it's one of our few leverages. Beverly, if she wanted to make that point, what would have been a better way to make it?
She could say, we know families are suffering, which is why we are fighting so hard to make sure that they get the support that they need. Republicans aren't offering that, and we are fighting Republicans to help families out there.
Oh, she should have you on the payroll, Stephen. If you worked for Representative Clark and you saw the news coverage and she was watching with you and she turned to you and she said, "Stephen, how bad is this?" What would you tell your boss?
I'd say it's pretty bad. I mean, we saw Chuck Schumer making a similar statement when he said the Democrats are winning on the shutdown. I think human beings are, and the American people are losing out when paychecks aren't going out to federal workers, to contractors. You have the SNAP benefits expiring in November. So I understand the Democrats feel like this is a point of leverage, to use her word, but the American people are losing out from this. And I think it reinforces the bad Democratic brand that's out there, that they're the party of elites. Elites, political consultants and operatives and media, they're fine with the government shutdown and the yelling because it's something to talk about, but there are real people getting hurt, and you don't want to be on the side of real people getting hurt.
Okay, to give you an idea of how big a gaffe Republicans think this is, outside Speaker Johnson's office, this is probably our friend Hogan Gidley's idea. They just rolled into the hallway right outside his office where people can see a big TV monitor, and they're just playing her soundbite on a loop over and over again right outside his office. I've never seen that. We'll have to ask Hogan if that was his idea. Okay. Let's polymarket the question of that when the shutdown's going to end, and I want to hear from both of you what you think. From our partners at Polymarket, you can wager on all sorts of things what the odds are for different outcomes in sports and every business and everything, but politics they do. And so the question is, when will the government shutdown end? And you can see that the leader throughout, going back to October 16th, about a week ago, has been the latest date, November 16th, 38% chance that it ends after the 16th. And then number two is that it ends in about a week, right around the 1st of November, when some of those deadlines are. That is 14%. But the runaway favorite is it goes past November 16th, which is almost a month away. Thoughts on that, Beverly? The bettors here have it right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while. Nobody seems to be budging at this point, and Republicans really don't have a whole lot of reasons to budge on this. I even think if you want to talk about leverage, Russ Vought of the OMB, I know I talked about this last time I was on. He's already stated that he thinks he might furlough or lay off over 10,000 workers during this time, non-essential workers. So there is an element Republicans see this as an opportunity. I also think it's been smart for Republicans to vote on paying workers who are working to help out different sectors, such as the military, make sure they get paid. And this is going to be interesting because tomorrow the Senate is taking a test vote to pay essential workers. Will Democrats in the Senate say, no, we're not going to pay essential workers? So I don't think Republicans are going to budge. And so far, I don't think the polling shows that Democrats are too far in the hole on this, that they feel like they have to make a move. So the polling is kind of in the middle of who's winning. So I think both are going to hold firm.
Stephen, do you agree with that analysis?
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I think the poly market tends to be a good predictor. And I agree with the leading candidate of the timeline there. And I think this vote tomorrow will be really interesting to see because Democrats are going to be in a pretty tough position. And I genuinely don't know really which way they're going to go. I did see my home state Republican Senator Ron Johnson talking about it, and he seemed pretty excited about that vote. So we'll see where that lands.
Yeah, a lot of Republican senators like Senator Johnson have basically said it's unclear to them how Democrats could possibly vote against this, but we don't have a whip, Ken, so we'll see. Word from one of our sponsors, the good folks at Cozy Earth, who make extraordinary clothes and bedding, the bamboo sheets. I got them. You should have them too. 10-year warranty, 100-day money-back guarantee, temperature regulating, give you a comfortable night's sleep. Everybody in our household's a little bit under the weather, and nothing more comforting than to climb into bed with the comfortable Cozy Earth sheets, viscose made from bamboo. And then over the sheets, you put the Bubble Cuddle blanket, which we also have here. Lose yourself in luxury with the Bubble Cuddle blanket. Offers a combination of comfort and style with its distinctively textured bubble design, intricately woven from ultra soft fibers. I can testify to all that. I didn't make up that language, but it's all true. You can also, of course, buy the shirts, very comfortable T-shirts. I wear them around the house all the time. And, of course, the pants. If you want your spouse to look at you and say, my goodness, you look spectacular in those pants, I recommend the Cozy Earth pants. Go to CozyEarth.com. Use my promo code 2WAY for 20% off, because home isn't just where you live, it's how you feel. Let's go home with Cozy Earth.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.